All right, hello everybody. I wanted to cover a game that I've just ran into a couple of days ago. That's been really a whole lot of fun for me. It's called Cities War, which you can find at looks like new.citieswar.com is the URL I see here. But it's just a fairly simple game based off of Google Maps, where you can have territories and basically armies, navies, build. Really kind of a neat game. There's economies in here. You have alliances. Say in my case here, you can this particular icon over here, you can build different weapons. The very top one here, you have resources, which is kind of a cool thing. You have various resources in the game, like oil. You need oil to be able to move. You need steel to be able to build weapons. You need food to pay your armies and your people. You need some rare elements to make certain advanced weapons. Uranium for nuclear weapons if you get that good. I'm not there yet. And you can do different things in here, like, for example, for oil, you can actually do discoveries. Now, you can sell. You get so much gold and such for different cities that you own. The more cities you own, the better. But then you can also sell anything that you have, like any commodities like oil, steel, food. You do need to have some of it available to be able to create things. But say, for example, here, I've got a steel mill. I could come in here and say, I want to sell, oh, I don't know, 300 units of that. I could hit the sell button and I could say, okay, do you want to sell 300 pounds for 150 gold pieces? Okay, that's not really a lot of gold, but I could do that. Then I could take that gold, use it to recruit more troops. I could use it to produce more weapons and such. So it's really a very cool game. The only thing that I've kind of come close to comparing this to, there was a game a number of years ago made by an Italian designer, which I really loved. The game, it was called War to Map. It was WAR, the number 2 map. And it was also based off of Google Maps. I think that game may have come out 5 or 6 years ago. I don't remember exactly when. It's gone now. I really loved it. It wasn't as complex as this game. It didn't have as many features, but I loved the game. It was a very addicting game. But yeah, I can show really quickly here. You can discover new areas or new areas. Like say, if I want to find an iron mine. Now, what I don't know yet, and I've only been playing this game like 2 days, what I do not know for sure, like say, you can zoom in on a region, and there's different tax rates. So depending on where you click, you may have to pay. Like if I click on this, I gotta zoom in a little bit more, but if I were to click on this, oh, actually, it's allowing me to build here. Oh, so in the city of Marquette, I can output 2,700 pounds. There is a 50% tax, but it looks like I can build here. So I can actually build an iron mine. Let me go ahead and build another one here. It's not going to cost much. But you need more gold. Okay, I need gold. I need 50 gold to be able to do that. But I currently don't have enough gold, so it does cost gold to be able to build these mines. But basically, all of these different resources work in that way. And then there's a deadline. So once you build these things, like for example, I just built this one. I have a deadline. Can't really quite make out the time. I guess I can't stretch that out either. I don't know how to do that. But basically, sometime on November 13th at 8 something, or actually 4 something, I don't know what this time is, but it's going to expire, and then I'll have to rebuild it again. I've got some here going to expire tomorrow, and so on. So every couple days you got to go back and rebuild these. So you can't just sit on your laurels. You have to kind of stay active in the game. Now, I've already gone through and done this with food, like I have, locations here with food and so on. So hopefully I'm not giving too much of my info away on this game. I do have, I think you start out with up to 8 armies. And then if you have gems, there's gems which you can actually buy those, or like if you have PayPal or whatever, it's very cheap, like I don't know, $1.99 for 200 gems, just to help support the game. But then you can actually go in and you can use those gems for different purposes, like speeding up movement of your troops. You can actually do what's called a wager, where you can get, win a prize of maybe additional gems or gold. So the gems come in really handy for trying to do fast movements. I've only been playing this game a couple days. There's guys that have been playing this for a very long time. I did join an alliance here. What you're seeing here is you're seeing basically the map of the alliance territory. I've also got my own country within that. And basically when you create a country, you have to own at least 3 cities. You have to have control, and then you basically click on any 3 cities, creates a triangle, and then you get like a defensive bonus within that area. So for me, I've got like Indianapolis over here. I've got Akron outside of it, but I'm able to draw between South Bend, Lexington, and I think it's Mississauga. Yeah. So I'm able to create a pretty decent triangle, which, keeps Toledo, Detroit, Cleveland, some of my bigger cities, Fort Wayne, all within that. So yeah, the secret is you don't want to make too many enemies. I've been pretty peaceful. I think the only I did retaliate against somebody that attacked me in Fort Wayne, and I pretty much decimated what he had. But you got to be careful because people are allied. They're in different alliances, and if you get the wrong person upset, they can really come at you hard. So we'll see here. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I can, for example, move in and just kind of show you a little bit of what we've got here. Yeah, I got Mississauga. I'll get off of this country thing here. One of the things I've had to get used to is there's a little triangle up here you can click on to get rid of that. But I can go click on my different troops. I've got different armies stationed in different areas. For example, I got one here in Detroit. So you can go in here and edit them. Now, if you have enough gold, you have to have enough gold to do this, but you can start clicking, and you can see for each troop, it costs 30 gold. So you can see, I don't have enough gold, and it's, for me to add 2 more troops, it would be 60 gold. I can add 1 more, and then on top of that, you can add weapons that I've created. Right now, I don't have any weapons. I need to create more, but I could start adding weapons. And you have tanks, artillery, machine guns, all kinds of stuff here. So yeah, for example, here, I could create M16 rifles, HK-21s, M240s, machine guns. You got Striker 40. You got artillery. These are all the different artillery choices, and of course they cost differing amounts of money. You also want to look at the attack and defensive strength, the speed ability, the crew. Like, you're going to have 3 crew members, and how much fuel does it cost? So you need to have oil. You have to take into account. You start getting a lot of tanks, you start getting a lot of trucks and things like that. They do use a lot of oil. So like your Abrams M1A2, wow, it takes 30 units of oil. I don't remember what the unit of oil is, but you do need to have plenty of oil to be able to move these things. You've got a pretty good range of tanks here, different types of tanks. Like, I started out making quite a few of these M41s. I mean, the attack was only 450, defensively 590, but you know what? They don't cost a lot to make. They're fairly cheap. They use a little bit less fuel. I realize they're not the top-rated tank out there, but you get all the way up to the Abrams and the Challengers, and you got the Merkavas, the Israeli tank here. Attack is 600, fuel use is 25. These are all pretty good tanks. You've also got ships. Now, it's a little bit harder. I've only got 1 Navy so far. It takes a lot to produce these things. I think I have 1 frigate. 29,000 attack, 33,000 defense. You have to have 200 crew members, and the fuel is insane. It's 580. I'm not sure I quite understand the escort thing. That may be having to do with escorting. Maybe you can use it to escort bigger ships. I'm not sure about that one yet. There are some great tutorials though, which I'll show as well. But I really do love this game. It's awesome. I hope this thing's successful. I'd hate to see it fold up like the War to Map did. And then eventually you get into missiles, which I am nowhere near that, but you can actually have ICBMs to various ranges of missiles. I do not have those. Wow, it takes 7,050 oil, that much steel. I don't have enough. Oh, okay. See, I haven't paid attention. I would need to have 3,850 rare, 3,850 uranium, 9,950 gold. So I have the oil, I have the steel. If I ever really want to take the time to do this. Now, the other thing I believe is an ICBM. Okay, that'd be your longest range missile, I guess, right? There's different ranges. Oh, yeah. So the survey. Oh man, look at that. I could basically hit anybody with a nuke. I guess this is like the orbital cannon out of GTA. I don't know if you're familiar with GTA Online and the orbital cannon. I have not used that, by the way, in GTA. But anyhow, wow, that's the range. So yeah, depending on what missile, like there's a tinier missile, probably a lot less expensive, but I could hit Chicago, anybody that would threaten me in this area. Wow, I may have to consider looking into that. What do I have? The only thing I'm lacking is gold. I have everything needed to make one of those. And I guess that could be a good self-defense thing. I don't know. There are some people within my area that have cities, but so far they've been very peaceful. We're actually kind of have alliances with some of those other guys, so I don't want to mess with them at all. I really don't. I'm trying to just play this game peacefully. But anyhow, yeah, that is basically what's going on with this game. Um, I want to go to the tutorial. All right, after jumping out of the game here for a little bit, I did want to cover the tutorial just slightly on this game. You have a very good tutorial here with different sections that you can click on about resources, army bases, and so on. So anything that I've missed here, you really need to understand the basic. When you start out, you're going to have an army base that you can position wherever you want. You kind of want it to be near a city somewhere, not doesn't have to be in a city. I don't even think it can be in a city. But any missiles that you do manufacture are going to be launched from that location. So think about that if you ever get up to the point of wanting to launch ICBMs or any of those missiles. Resources, all your actions are limited by the resources. I did cover that somewhat. You want to build farms for food, mines for steel, rare earths and uranium, wells for oil. Gold's also needed for everything you do. Gold can be acquired. The best way that I do it is by selling any excess resources. You can trade resources through other players through the open market. A lot of times I sell things, but you can also go to the market and you can trade with other players through that if you want to. That's another great thing, especially that's good for allies, things like that. So yeah, I kind of went through a little bit about the building. There's a good detail in about building, the oil wells are building different things here, farms, so on. The gems, how the gems work. There's things called gem hunts where gems will randomly appear. You do need, I think I mentioned the special actions that you need gems for, like fast traveling, things like that. It does take time for your armies and navies to move to destinations. You can speed that up with gems. Also, you're limited to 8 armies and 8 navies. But with gems, I forget the amount, but you can get a ninth and a 10th army. I believe that's true, maybe a ninth and 10th navy. I haven't got that far. But the gems will help you do that. There's a lot of details about attacking, defending, countries, alliances, all this stuff. So anyhow, this is a really cool game. Um, and I'd love to see this thing, stay successful. It looks like it has a pretty good base. So yeah, that's the game in a nutshell. And maybe I'll see you out there. I look forward to seeing everybody in the next video.